Okay, now that we're cool with the major sort of physical components of a swarm cluster, it's time to get familiar with the more logical pieces. So the things we're interested in now are filtering and scheduling. And these two combined are all about picking the right nodes in the cluster to run new containers on. And they work hand in hand. So filtering runs first, gets rid of the nodes that aren't appropriate for the new container, effectively generating a list of nodes that are appropriate. And then scheduling takes that list and, I don't know, it picks the lucky node that gets to host the new container. So just as a quick example, right, let's say we've got a cluster going and it's got some nodes running on premises and some in the cloud. Then a bunch are in the DMZ and the rest are in the production zone. Then we need to schedule a new container, and let's say it needs to run a web front-end service and we want it to run on premises in the DMZ or the DMZ, yeah? Well, we'd issue the appropriate Docker run command to the cluster, the swarm manager, yeah? And you know what? We're ignoring the detail here, so don't worry about that. For now, we just want the big picture. So we throw the command at the cluster, and filtering kicks in and says, okay, we've got a command to start a new container, and it needs to run on-prem and in the DMZ zone. Well, that means all these nodes over here in the cloud, they get filtered out, and then so do these on-prem ones that aren't in the DMZ. See ya! Leaving these 6 here. And boom! That is filtering done. Time for scheduling to do its bit. So, scheduling takes a look at these 6 nodes, and depending on what scheduling strategy our cluster's running, and more on that in a sec, it picks a node. So this one. And it fires the Docker run command at that node. And bada bing, bada boom, our new container gets scheduled on this node in the DMZ on premises. Marveloso. Like I said earlier, yeah, Swarm is about helping us manage lots of Docker hosts at scale. But, like we see here, right, it brings a lot more to the party. Intelligence like this really can be powerful in the real world. But that's just the big picture. What we're going to do now is take a closer look at filtering and scheduling. And I will say, I think there's a fair amount to cover, but don't sweat it. We'll cover the theory here, and then later in the course, we'll put it into action, and it'll be clear as crystal.